The Acting Up with GTC podcast is a production of the Granbury Theater Company. The Granbury Theater Company is a 501c3 nonprofit theater arts production company based in the historic Granbury Opera House in Granbury, Texas. Welcome to Acting Up with GTC, the official podcast of the Granbury Theater Company, where we pull back the curtain and give you a behind-the-scenes look at everything happening at the historic Granbury Opera House. Well, all right, welcome to the Acting Up with GTC podcast. My name is Micky, Shearon.
I'm Matt Boitner.
And here we are, Matt, on 4th of July weekend, and we are doing our very first Mini Pod.
First Mini Pod of 2026.
First Mini Pod of 2026, and we call those Mini Pods because why?
Because it's K-Cups for Podcasts I think I did that riff a year ago.
K-Cups for Podcast. Meaning this is only going to be, it's going to be a single serving. It's not going to be a full episode.
Podcast episode. It's a sample size podcast episode.
And here we are. It's 4th of July weekend and the final weekend for Legally Blonde here at the Granbury Opera House. It's been a great run. And, this weekend, here comes everything along with 4th of July. We've got a parade on Saturday morning. And then we have our Saturday matinee performance on the 4th. We do not have an evening performance.
Yeah, don't forget.
Yeah.
Don't show up at 7 o'clock.
Yeah, do not come up here. Yeah. So we canceled, actually we didn't cancel, we rescheduled our Saturday evening performance to Friday matinee.
Yeah.
So as we're recording this on Thursday, July 2nd, we have a matinee performance tomorrow on Friday, July the 3rd. We normally don't have Friday matinees. So if you're not doing anything tomorrow afternoon, come see a matinee performance of Legally Blonde. And then, of course, we have the big fireworks show that Granbury is famous for on Saturday night. But so lots of great stuff going on in Granbury this weekend.
Lots of great stuff going on in Granbury this weekend. And one of the great things is the closing of Legally Blonde.
Yeah.
And to tie into what we're talking about today, unless I forgot anything.
No, I think that's about it.
So this Legally Blonde got a closing weekend.
Yes.
And those of you that know the story, you know where we're going with this, but we've got kind of a very special behind the scenes Granbury Theater Company, Granbury Opera House, Legally Blonde, July 4th specific story.
We do. All of those things are kind of mishmashed together.
We're gonna clue you in on kind of a company secret here at the Opera House that ties directly into all those things I just mentioned.
It's not really a secret. It's just that unless you do shows here and you're backstage, either as a performer or a tech crew member or staff member, you may not be aware of this for good reason, because not many people come backstage at the Opera House. But for those of you who are patrons and you've never been backstage and you've not seen this will be a little bit of a new story for you, and hope it's kind of cool.
Yeah. So let's peel back the curtain and take you backstage.
Here we go. Let's do it. All right. So here we go. Here we go, backstage. Okay, so here we are backstage at the Granbury Opera House. And so after we closed down in July of 2020 because of the COVID pandemic, every few days I would come down here just to check on things at the Opera House, make sure everything was okay. I'd always come in that back door, the door everybody comes in, and I would check things in the green room, make sure everything was okay. And I'd usually come down this hallway, and I would turn here and would come down what we call our crossover hallway. For those of you who've never been backstage at the Opera House, this is how you get from one side of the stage to the other behind the stage. So it's kind of a handy little thing to have. But I would come down through here, and when we left on that July 5th back in 2020, All of the costumes are still out. All of the set pieces were still out. All the props were still out. We literally left everything because we thought we were coming back the next weekend to do our final weekend of Legally Blonde. Obviously, as you know, that never happened. So every time I would come in here, it was like we were frozen in time. It was like a very real Twilight Zone episode where everything had just been frozen in time and everybody but me had been taken out of the world. So, I would see all of this stuff and, of course, it would kind of make me sad because it's all just a reminder of the fact that we didn't get to finish our show, and even worse, we've had to close down. And so a really, really sad time for everybody. But every time I would come down this hallway, and all these costumes are hanging on the walls, and the set pieces were back here in the shop. But also, what I started noticing every time I walked down this hallway, I would notice this drum major hat. And this drum major hat was worn by Barry Harris, who was our L in our 2020 version of Legally Blonde. And she had a quick change right here where she would hang her drum major costume on the wall right here. Her drum major hat would be right here. She would change very quickly right here for the next scene. And so her drum major hat was still hanging on the wall. Every time I would come in this building for 10 months, I would see this hat, and it sort of became almost a sign of things to come, or a hope of things to come. It almost served in a strange sort of way as an encouragement to me and it reminded me of how blessed we are to be able to do this thing that we call theater, and this thing that we love. And when we lost it, how bad it hurt and what a hole it left. So when it became time in April of 2021 to start talking about reopening, and we started hiring back our skeleton staff. And so at the first day that all of our staff were back, I got everybody together and I said, okay, obviously the first thing we've got to do is we've got to take down the 2020 Legally Blonde stuff. We've got to get all the costumes put away. We got to get all the set pieces dismantled and loaded out. We got to get all the props put up and get all that done. But I said, when you do all of that, take everything away, but the one thing you don't touch is the drum major hat. I want that hat to stay on the wall. And I explained to the staff the meaning that it had come to have for me was that it was always going to hang there, and every time I walk past it, it's going to be a reminder of the time that we lost something that we really truly loved. And not only that, it's kind of a reminder, a bittersweet reminder of the people who were in our Granbury Theater Company family who didn't make it through the COVID pandemic, and they're no longer with us. So it's kind of it serves as a reminder to me of those people as well. But even today, here 6 years later, every time I get frustrated or the weight of the theater industry is kind of weighing down on me, and just the things that happen with theater, and I start feeling like, man, I just wish things would go better or go smoother. I walk down this hallway and I see this drum major hat, and I remember, don't complain, be thankful. And that's what this drum major hat is, a symbol to me. And as long as I have anything to do with it, this drum major hat is going to continue hanging here as a reminder of how blessed we are to get to do this thing called theater. So that's the story of the drum major hat. And that's all we've got for today. Thank you to Matt Boitner, my co-host, and being pressed into service as a cameraman. And so we are, as he gives you the thumbs up. So that's all we have for our mini pod K-Cup for podcasts. Hope you enjoyed this story of the drum major's hat. Come see Legally Blonde this weekend at the Granbury Opera House.